All right, so now we are at measure 9. Measures 9 and 10 are kind of the tricky part. So this whole video is just going to be on these two measures. The measure 9 is where the B7 chord is. Starts on the B note. Measure 10 is the A chord. All right, so let's look at this, the ninth measure here that we're on the B7 chord. Starts off with a B note, second fret on the A string. We're going to ignore that for a second, and let's turn beat 1 just into a rest. And I'm going to turn the beat on again. I've slowed the beat down to 70 beats per minute because this part's a little trickier. So here I'm going to just repeat it to measure 9 a couple times. Alright, so the main tricky part about this is just getting that jump from the low B up to the open B string. Those first two notes, that's kind of a big jump. The lick itself is not too hard. Let's just look at, let's ignore the first low B note and just play the B, D, B, A, G. This part's not too hard. There's my picking direction still down, up, 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 down, up. There you go. The A one's a little bit trickier. Actually, I'm going to loop the B one here at 70 beats per minute for a little bit. If you need to just leave out that low B at first, do that, and then you can add it back in, kind of build it up that way. Here we go. Go. Measure 10, we've got the A chord. Start out with a low A note, 5th string open. This riff is a little bit trickier. The key thing is to continue that down, up, down, up, down, up. And this little phrase is kind of an example of the one that is almost counterintuitive. And it has to do with the first two notes, basically. So your first note is A. Sorry, your first note is low A. Your second note on beat number 2 is a middle A. So that's a downstroke. So I'm going to cross, the B should be an upstroke, but that's the next string below it. So I got downstroke, upstroke. This is the part that's kind of counterintuitive because I have to cross across the B string and come back up to hit it on the way up. And the next part's not too hard. A, G, down, up, and then E, D, down, up. So that part's not a problem. It's that it's going from the A to the B. That's the tricky part. So I'm going to do this part real slow a couple times once again. If you have trouble getting to that low A at the beginning, just leave it out and work on that second part of the lick. let's try just putting them both together now. So I'm going to do B once and then A once. This just measures 9 and 10 back and forth. So measure 9. Go. So there's measures 9 and 10. You just kind of want to loop those, try to get each one individually, and then try to put them both together like we did there at the end. Once you can get those together, then we're going to start putting them the whole song all together. I said we were just going to do 2 measures this video, but actually the last 2 measures pretty simple compared to what we just did anyway. So I'm just going to run over this a couple times. This is just, you start out with a low E. This is measure 11, very last line of the song. Low E. And once again, you're just descending the pentatonic scale, but instead of starting on a high G, you're starting on a open E. So you're coming in, you're just kind of skipping that last note of the scale and descending all the way down to your fat string again. So it goes like. There we go. So that's all the parts of the song. Once you can get all those parts together, the next video, or the next 2 videos, what we're going to do is just put the whole song. It's just going to be a practice track of the whole song. The very next video, it's going to be straight, just like we've been doing it. We're probably going to do it about 80 beats per minute, so a little faster than what we were doing it here. And then the one after that, it's going to be the exact same thing, except with a shuffle feel. Same notes, just a little bit more of that triplet shuffle swing type of feel. All right.